Hey guys, I'm back. I was off for a week if you've been following my week daily podcast on this. But I just wanted to kind of give you an update because last week I was backpacking in the Sawtooth Mountain Range up in Idaho. Absolutely gorgeous, amazing location. And so I obviously had no access to my account whatsoever. So I had my wife Tracy run the exact same process that I run every single day. And I'm pretty proud of her. She did an awesome job, and I was not ever surprised or worried about it. But using the exact same process I run every day, I just went through it with her seriously only about 5 minutes before I left, and she took some notes. And for the first week of August, she was able to bring in 28,556 just using this very same process. So, and around almost 5,000 of theta per day. So that is what um, you're able to do with just a consistent process. And look, this is a fairly good sized portfolio. So I get it. And so it's not so much about the numbers because maybe you're making a consistent 1,000 a month or a consistent 5,000 a month. The idea is you want to set a system because if you're going to try to rely on your emotions to carry you through, I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to be impossible. It's going to drive you absolutely out of your mind. So I'm not going to ask you to do that. You're going to want to work with the process. And my process is I come into my daily actions. And the first thing I'm going to do um, is I'm just going to monitor I just like to take a glance. I've got, I got 94 positions right now. I can see that several are already, in a pretty high P&L percentage for profit. I can see that I have several that are my positions out of the money. I have some that are in the money. Um, and I don't stress out about those that are in the money because the whole key here is having made the decision beforehand. And so if they're in the money and they're going to be assigned to me, then I'm okay with that. Some of these could potentially be called away. And that's going to happen not for several days. So I've got plenty of time for these to move. I might do some different things with these. We'll see as we get closer. Okay. So I just take a quick peek. The second thing I do is I'm going to look at all of my positions that are in a profit position, meaning, and I say this all the time, if you had an old pickup truck and you sold it for $500 today, and you could buy it back tomorrow because of the market. Let's say that, um, and this is truly what happens. It's because of supply and demand, the value of that pickup could potentially go way down if there was all of a sudden a massive supply. Well, the market's like that. It's moving up, it's moving down. And so what happens is you will have, let's say you sold it for 500 today, and tomorrow you could buy it back for 250. Well, you made 250, and what if you could turn around though and sell it again for 500? Would you do that? And then the next day you buy it back for 200, and then you turn around and sell it for even higher, maybe 600. Because of the way the markets operate, those options contracts, um, they often after a day or two, after a decay of time, which is theta, after the decay of time, those contracts become uh, less expensive to buy back. So you can buy them back, but then here's the beauty of it, but then you can turn around and sell it for higher than you bought it back for. Why wouldn't you do that all day long? So I have several positions here that are in that range. So I'm just going to take this up to everything above 70%, let's say. And let's say, so I've got these, how many? I've got 14 positions here I'm going to buy back. So I can just select all these, and then I'm going to buy these back. And this is the order ticket. It just brings it up, and I can kind of dial these in. I like them to be right at the midpoint. Um, Sometimes I want to get the most out of them that I can. And so therefore I'll dial them back to the midpoint. You know, it's it's halfway between what the buyer and the seller are willing to negotiate at. But typically up the center is pretty good. So it's going to cost me $14.66 to buy these back. I'm going to go ahead and run this. Go ahead and submit it and let these run. Give it just a minute. It's validating these now. And off it goes. And I can see that I'm getting several responses here. So that's the first step. Okay. I'm not sure what happened with that Qualcomm. I have to take a look at that. Close that. Put. So now what I can do is come up here and look at working orders and just see if I have any that have not gone through yet. Looks like I do have a couple. Put it in table view. So what I can do is just review these, find a place that's not quite at mid, and just run them again. And I'll go ahead and see if I can get these to close out. Okay, so most of those closed out. Great. Now, my next step in my automation is to go to calls that would be eligible for me to sell. So I do have a few covered calls, it looks like. So I'm just going to go ahead and review those. Not a lot because the market was going up last week. Submit those. Boom. Again, I might take a look at working orders, see what I got. Might just send those through again. All right. Okay, so I took those steps. Now I'm going to go in and just take a look at cash secured puts. And I'm going to select my main cash account. And I'm going to go ahead and submit these through. Got 105 tickers. So it's looking at contracts across all of these 105 different tickers slash companies. And I'm just looking to see, are there any contracts that kind of fall in the sweet spot of the risk tolerance that I have? And my risk tolerance is I pretty much always aim for 85% potential or probability of profit. So I'm always I want the edge. I always want, so I've got almost $1 million here that I can in collateral. So I'm going to look at, the first thing I do is come here to probability of profit. And you can see I'm just going to sort the whole list of contracts across all of those positions by that. So, and then also what I like to do is I don't like this to go out too many days. So maybe anything that's within maybe 19 days or 2 weeks, let's say. 2 weeks, let's say. So let's see, Tesla, let me take a look at what it's doing. I like to always look at the chart. Yep, it, as per usual, it kind of hits that floor right there. And now it was oversold, and now it's making its way back. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get a contract of that. Let's see what we got here. Max Linear. I haven't done much with Max Linear, but it's definitely having ever since April and May. It looks like it's having a happy day. So, what is it? It's profit. It's not a bad. I love it. The premium for the price. So I'm going to pick that one up. Applied digital. MU is always, let's see what Micron's doing. So, it came down from its highs, but I like where it's at right now. Its relative strength index is right in the middle. You can see that it's not being overbought or oversold, and it's kind of moving right where I want it. I like that. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick up a contract of that. Iron, where's it at? Yeah, I like Iron. And Walmart is always a good one to pick up. I like owning Walmart. And of course, Google. Let's see what Walmart's doing these days. Yeah, it's doing what it do. It's real steady, right in the center. And Google, what's it doing these days? Yeah, it's doing what it do. Real solid stock. what do we got going here? These energy corporations that are adjacent to AI is just looking real nice. So I'll do one contract of that. So I'm going to test these orders. Gonna see where I'm at. Keep them right on the order ticket, right in the center line. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and execute that. Perfect. So several of those are filling. I love it. Let me go to another account, see what kind of cash. I've got plenty of cash in this account. So I'm going to do the same. I like Tesla. I like Excel. I'm not going to do MU. I'll do IREN. And can I do, yeah, let's test those. Okay. I like those. Perfect. Yeah, you can kind of see the process. I'm going to come take a look at, have a traditional IRA. I've got a fair amount of cash there. So I'm going to do the same. Kind of see the process I go through, right? And I like, do I have enough? I'm going to go that far. I always like to keep at least half of my buying power viable at all times. Go ahead and, or more. That way, if the market moves, you're in good shape. Looks like several of those filled. And now, just for fun, I'm going to come and take a look at SPX, my favorite index. And I'm going to go ahead and see. I've got 50-point spread, 30-day. Maybe I'll do 21, 50-point. So let's just go ahead and run these. And my wife didn't really do any SPXs last week because it's volatile, and she was just playing it real careful and just running the exact steps. So I like to look at SPX and pick up a contract 2 or 3 or 4 a week. I just find that you can pick them up at a probability of profit that's very appealing. And all right, so let's see what we got here. Again, I don't like them to be out too far, so I'll pull it in. And I'm going to probability of profit. So 97.4%. Let's take a look at what it's doing these days. Oh, man. You got to love it. It's going even higher. Oh, it's a little bit on the top side. So it looks like this could definitely drop back down into this area. So you have to be a little bit careful here. I actually prefer to have it like where it was right here, just riding right along, that mid-range, right between the Bollinger Bands right there. But it kind of went way high. I'll probably, let's see what the likelihood if it comes down here. When was it there? Yeah, I mean, it's kind of bounced around at that level. I'm going to hold on this today. I'm not going to do that. Because I think it's a little bit too exuberant, and I don't like it when it gets too exuberant. So I'm gonna hold off on that. Come back here, I might look at a couple more positions here. I don't mind taking it down to about 700. I'm not going to mess with SPX though. Here, let me go back to cash secured put. I'm going to run another scan on that one. All right, so we picked up 1,500 opportunities here. Let's go and see what else do we want to do here. All right. Again, I'm not going to go out too far. I always like to pull the days to expiration in a bit. As I've said before, operating off of potential profit or probability of profit. What do we got here? Dell. Always like Dell. What's Dell doing? Yeah, it's looking real nice. It's a little bit higher in the RSI, but right in the middle about where you want it. So Costco is such an amazing company. They're just so steady. Um, but it's not a very good return on capital. Um, that's the hard thing. I mean, you look at Dell, its current price is 468 and they're paying $7 per share. Costco's $943 and only about $3 per share. So it's got a weekly return of 20%, uh, while Dell has a 69% return. So, these are the decisions you make. And if I really want to pick up Costco, then I will. But it's a little bit rich for where I'm at right now. This one's a little bit volatile, kind of all over, up and down. But I like where it's at, and the Bollinger Band. It's been a while since it's been down that low. I'm gonna pick up a little bit of that. I'm not picking it up. What's BX doing? Yeah, I like Blackstone, even though they're evil so many ways. I'm gonna buy their contracts or sell them, I should say. What do we got here? Goldman Sachs. Gotta like what The money markets are all looking nice. I like Goldman Sachs. And it's pretty spendy, but it's got a pretty good premium, you know, 23%. Let me see if there's anything else I want to do here. Yeah. Ooh, DoorDash. People can't get enough of that food coming to their door, and that's pretty good return, 28. All right, so let's go ahead and run these. Nice. All right, that's gonna make my day here. I hope you're seeing the process. Okay, that one I can only close on. Okay. All right. Put a few in today, and I probably still have a few. Actually, I'm going to come back here and probably have some working orders that I can close out. Yeah, let's do that. Let those run. Do it again. All right. I'll let those just work for the rest of the day until they fill. And yeah, that's going to be my day. Thanks, everyone. And you can click on links in the description to learn more. If there's something you are interested in learning more about for yourself, go ahead. And happy to happy to help you if you're interested in that. With that, I'm going to sign off. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.